the type of girls that he wanted. He was inquiring that he needed white girls with, big butts and, big breasts, and girls that can squirt to the ceiling.
Alrighty guys, Kentucky takes care of business against Davidson. Very hard fought game for Kentucky. Even though, Davidson stayed with Kentucky and all that, I never really felt Kentucky was in danger of falling to Davidson. And I was really annoyed by how long the game took, because Kentucky, kept giving them a little bit of hope here and there towards the end of the game. And that was very annoying. It was a very long last 2 minutes of the game. But Kentucky pulls out to win the win against Davidson. Very pleased. Those first games can sometimes be, scary for a young team like the Kentucky Wildcats, the current SEC champs, and the greatest college basketball program of all time, of course. But it was a nice little win for Kentucky. I was a little bit worried about Davidson, I'm not going to lie, but as the game went on, it became obvious to me. It was just a matter of when Kentucky wanted to, put them away. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. Kentucky could have really took care of this team. We could have really blown them out there in the first half. But a lot of it is just Davidson played so hard. They didn't quit. They made their three-pointers, and Kentucky did not make one three-pointer. We still won the game. So the three-point streak comes to an end for Kentucky, the greatest college basketball program of all time. And that's okay with me. I'm kind of glad it's over, because every time you watch a game, you'd always hear the announcers, Kentucky keeps the streak going. Sure, it was nice while it lasted, but over 1,000 games of making a three-pointer, that's something special. Just another record for the greatest college basketball program of all time. Alexander played well. Kalia Jones had that awesome dunk there towards the end of the game that really put the game out of reach. Gabriel didn't do much. Knox played great, of course. Green didn't do much. It was just a nice defensive effort for Kentucky. Really pleased with how well they played. And now we go on to play Buffalo. That's right, people. As everybody knows by now, Buffalo shocked Arizona last night. Sean Miller chokes again. Absolutely amazing. The guy, I thought he would choke against Kentucky, but he choked against Buffalo. And I think it was just partly Buffalo came to play. That was the big part of it, but Arizona did not show up. I did not see any life from that team. So, I don't know how good Buffalo is, people. If we would have played Buffalo that night, who knows what would have happened. That team came out and they never let up. They never let up the whole game. They played hard. They have 3 people on their, I was looking at their stats of their players. They have 3 players that average over 15 points a game. And I was looking at their team before, Arizona played. And I was like, they might give Arizona maybe a half. Arizona, of course, they led by 2 points at halftime. And I was like, Arizona turned on the second half. They'll take care of business. But didn't happen, did it? So Sean Miller probably will be gone as the coach, I would say. I think the allegations they had, this gives them a good reason to really get rid of him now, I think. I think they might just go ahead and get rid of him just because he's a choke artist. Not just that he's a choke artist, but because of the stuff he was involved with the $100,000 and all that. This gives them a better reason to get rid of him, I guess you could say. Just because they're saying, well, he's not performing for us in the postseason like he's supposed to. And from what I've read, they're not getting any recruits coming in because of all this trouble they've had with whatever, the shoes and all that crap. So back to the Kentucky game now. I think this Buffalo game that Kentucky plays, I think it's going to be a very hard-fought game. And Buffalo's not afraid of anybody. And that's going to be one of the big things this game. You're not going to see any fear from Buffalo. I expect a close game. I'm not going to lie. I think Buffalo's going to come out and they're going to play hard just like they did against Arizona. They're going to fight hard. And Kentucky's going to have to play. We're going to have to show up to play. No doubt about it. I think Kentucky wins this game, but it's going to be a very close, competitive game. Maybe the best game of the weekend in terms of competitive play. This might be it. It's going to be a good game. in a way, after seeing that Buffalo game, after seeing how well Buffalo played, it kind of makes you wonder, man, are they underseeded? Are they better than everybody expected? Can this team be a Cinderella? They beat Kentucky, people. They are for real. They hang with Kentucky and they beat us or whatever. They're for real. Let's not forget, they didn't just beat Arizona. They destroyed them. They took their starters out of the game to let their bench players come in. The last minute and something of the game, they put in their bench players to come in. Now, usually when a team gets upset, like Arizona playing Buffalo, it's close all the way to the end of the game. This game, they destroyed them. It was almost impossible to see it before your eyes. You saw Arizona. Did Arizona choke, or is Buffalo that good? We're going to know a lot more about it come Saturday around 5:10 or 5:30. They say it's 5:10, but usually these games start later, as we all know. So that was an amazing game Arizona played. And it kind of makes you fear Buffalo now, people. Being a Kentucky fan, you fear this game coming up because you've seen what Buffalo did to Arizona. And part of it, of course, was that Arizona, they didn't show up. Ayton didn't show up, people. The best player in the country didn't really do anything. I mean, that was so weird seeing that. So, I tell you what, people, Kentucky fans complain about having a hard path. So now you've got Buffalo in the second round to go to the Sweet 16. No excuses, people. A lot of people had Arizona picked to win it all, and I was like, I don't think so. I thought Kentucky would beat them the whole time, of course, but even if they got by Kentucky, I wasn't thinking that Arizona's going to win it all. I'll tell you who I like a lot in the tournament. I didn't do a bracket this year just because I just didn't feel the need to do it. You know, of course, if I fill a bracket out, it's going to have Kentucky winning it. You know, I guess I could do more than one bracket, of course. But I still like, of course, I like Kentucky. Of course, I like Kentucky every year. But besides Kentucky, I like Villanova a lot. I don't think Virginia's going to win it. I like North Carolina better than Virginia. I don't think Duke's going to win it. Cincinnati has a shot, but I really like Villanova and, of course, Kentucky. I always pick Kentucky as my first choice, but I like Villanova a lot. So, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows what's going to happen. It was a great first day of the tournament, and it's going to be a great second day. So, we'll see what happens Saturday, people. I'm going to pick Kentucky to win an amazing game against Buffalo, 81-76. 81-78. 81-78. We'll see what happens, though. Well, I tell you what, we lose this game. Whew. Man. We'll see. We'll see. If Buffalo does beat Kentucky, that'll be the team I root for the rest of the tournament. It'll be Buffalo. Just because. It would be a bad loss. It would be. But it would be a great story for college basketball. Just imagine they would say, Buffalo, they've already beaten Arizona. They've already beaten Kentucky. Who's next? You know, they would have something they could. But I don't want to be part of that narrative. You know, I don't want to be part of, well, they've already beat Kentucky. They beat Arizona. I don't want to be that. Can they beat Virginia, the overall #1 seed, all this stuff? I don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, you know. So, anyway, guys, we'll see what happens Saturday. Hopefully that was just one of those games where Buffalo was just hot, on fire. You're like, wow, that team is just, they just couldn't miss. They was just hot. That one guy who shot that shot, that three-point shot where he holds it out like that, I mean, what is that? But it went in. It went in. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Buffalo game coming up this Saturday. Should be an amazing game. But I hope it's not. I hope Kentucky just blows them out. That's what I hope happens. So, we'll see. We will see. It's pretty scary what they did to Arizona, because you would think even if Arizona didn't really show up, they would have won that game. You know, that's one of those games where you're like, Arizona just shows up, they win the game. You know, even if they play bad, they win the game. Didn't work out like that. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see what happens. The SEC's looking good in the tournament. Won every one of their games yesterday. we'll see what happens today. This is Friday around 11 o'clock in the morning, so when you're seeing this video, I would say most of all the games have been played for Friday. But we'll see how the SEC does Friday. We look good Thursday, that's for sure. You see the power of the SEC. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Me in the Box. See you guys next time. Another Kentucky video. Hopefully we're talking about the Sweet 16 the next time I see you guys. So go Big Blue, guys. Kentucky Wildcats, the greatest college basketball program of all time.